Hey everybody, welcome to CastorsCorner.com. I'm your host Khalil. Welcome to another live toy of the day. We're so happy that you could join us. Make sure to go to CastorsCorner.com for a full gallery of this figure, as well as our archive of past toy of the days. Sorry, for some reason the live chat's not coming up again, so I apologize for that. Feel free to leave comments after the video. So make sure to follow us. We are at Kastor's Corner on all social media, and you can check out the Cornercast podcast. Last week with our friend Vincent from Vasco Toys talking all things dioramas, and this week our friend MJ from Total Toy Recon talking frustrations of being a toy collector today. So tonight, what do we have? We're taking a look at, like I said last night, we're going to take a look at this Batman Beyond DC Multiverse figure from Mcfarlane Toys. I have really liked Batman Beyond as a character. I thought it was a really different kind of take on the character. I really liked the show when it came out. I watched a lot of it. I remember VHS taping it, recording it, and I remember always wanting a figure. And I remember the first Batman Beyond figure that was actually Terry was a translucent blue one. And I remember that was my first custom at a certain point. Let's see if I can get the chat up. Nope, it closed the chat on me. So I apologize. I thought I could fix it. So I painted. It was my first custom. So I painted, and it's somewhere down in the basement, in a box somewhere. And so at that time, I think it was Hasbro. Might have been Hasbro that had the license. It might have been Mattel. I can't remember, to be honest with you. I have to actually look at the figure. So I painted him, and I thought I did a really good job with him. But, you know, again, it's one of those cases where you want the figure, and they didn't give you the figure. And then fast forward to DC Classics, and Wave 4, I believe Terry was in, and we got a masked and we got an unmasked version, and the so-called self-proclaimed toy guru, of course, has rewritten history and said, oh, they couldn't cost it out to give him his wings. So once again, a figure that really didn't hit the mark for whatever reason. And instead of giving us the wings, they gave us an unmasked Terry head. And while I agree it was a good move, it was one of those things where it wasn't what we wanted. And even though the figure was okay, it was, you know, it was what it was. And, you know, the revisionist history that he's spinning on his channel, it's, you know, it's funny to watch sometimes if you want a good laugh. And so we waited, right? We waited. And then Mattel, DC Multiverse, after he left, actually gave us a Batman Beyond figure that came pretty darn close. There goes my chair. With the wings, right? These just didn't hit the mark. When I think of Batman Beyond, I think of really smooth, really articulated wings. And this is just like a backpack that sits on his back. Granted, much better than anything we've gotten before. He can definitely look like he's flying. It was definitely an improvement over past versions. So like it definitely hit the mark. And the costume, I mean, the thinner build for him, the much thinner, smaller build for him matched Terry's look. The belt is spot on. Like the design is spot on for the character itself. And he came with the Batman Beyond batarangs. So if you see them in the picture, these are actually the batarangs I used. So now we get to Mcfarlane Toys. Mezco did a really good one. And I bought that for the personal collection. So I don't know if he'll be a toy of the day. But I really like that one. But I haven't really taken it out of the box yet, to be honest with you. I took it out just to look at it and haven't really posed it and played with it at all. So then fast forward. Mcfarlane says that he's going to do Batman Beyond. But he pulls his bait and switch. What I like to call a bait and switch. Where we think we're getting this version, and then all of a sudden, we get a different version. And so the first version that hit store shelves had no face. it was a flat mask. So you could see that, you could see the detailing on his face, you could see the nose, the mouth, the look on his face. But the other one that came out with the Build-A-Figure part at Target had nothing below. It was like a mask over the mask. So a lot of us were disappointed. Now the thing is, that one came with the real Batarangs, but he's 25 bucks. Now this one got solicited. It was shown first. It was this picture that we got shown. And so right after they announced the Build-A-Figure, they announced single card. Single card will not come with the Batarangs. In fact, it just comes with a bat symbol, which I guess you could call a Batarang, but it's just his bat symbol. And if you see the pictures, I did use it as a Batarang. But as a whole, I was slightly disappointed because I wanted the true Batman Beyond's long tailed Batarangs. But I'm not willing to pay $25 to $27 for an extra figure for just the one accessory. Now, I've done that before, like, don't get me wrong, but I'm kind of burnt out on the whole Mcfarlane idea of like, we're going to sell you a figure, but not give you all the accessories. And then we're going to sell you another figure at the same time with other accessories. And then we're going to sell you another figure at the same time with the same accessories. So in reality, a $20 figure, if you wanted all the accessories, in some cases can run you up to about 60 bucks. And I think that that's kind of crappy, to be honest with you. So I settled for this version right here. You can see there's holes in his wings. That plugs in to the back of his hand so that you can move the arms with the wings. And as Todd would say, it's really, really cool. So you can see they attach. So if you move the arm, the wing goes down, sort of. So you can see the wings move with the arms, which is a cool feature. But if you're not doing that, if you have him flying a different way, you got big holes in the wings. He does come with alternate hands. They basically just look like claws. Let's see if we can get it. So they're just close-ups on the website. And he comes with rocket boots, or rockets for his boots. And you can see there are two holes at the bottom. One is an actually drilled hole. One's like a faux hole. And it matches up. It lines up with the alternate boost. So I would say if there was anything great about this figure, I mean, the design, like, don't get me wrong. Look, the design's nice. I really like it. I think if it had a different belt and had a different Batarang and you can remove the wings, I think it would be perfect. This is a case where I would rather if they had done a deluxe version with all those features in there rather than, you know, multiples to get you there. So, I mean, I think he looks pretty darn cool like this. I do. I think the glossiness of the paint. The other thing is I think they went for the comic book look versus the animated look. And I think that's where the big problem is, the disconnect is. And we've seen that before, where we get a comic book look or we get a modern comic book take, and it does not match up to the artwork that we're used to or we expect to see. So the wings do fold down like that, and they can hide sort of behind the legs, behind the body. They line up, so they're not, well, I mean, they stick out here. Okay, there goes that idea. They do hide a little bit. But I mean, that's one of the things that I wonder if a proper Batman Beyond is possible. That being said, I haven't opened my Mezco one, so I guess I have to open the Mezco one to find out. But I've seen somebody actually pop these wings out, and there's just like a big hole in the back of it. So, you know, messes with the sculpt a little bit. So I don't know. I really don't know if it's possible, you know, to get a perfect Batman Beyond. I think both of them have great advantages. I think I think the overall look of both of them is really good. I like the bat symbol on both of them. I wish that this one had a molded bat symbol like this one. I think the faces are both really good on both of these. I like the wings on this one better than this one. I like the belt on this one better than this one. I like the weapons with that one rather than this one. So I mean, there's there's pros and cons for both of these, and I think we'll get there someday. I mean, he's 1999. He was available on Amazon. Actually, I got him on Amazon and I got him at Walmart. I got three of them. Picked up some for friends. So everybody's been happy with it. Not a problem or anything, but I don't know. I feel like right now, with the way things are going with toys, I think we vote with our dollars, and I think that I'm burnt out on these guys. And I know I use that phrase probably too much lately, but the idea of buying figures for the sake of buying figures is getting a little bit old. Starting over again is also getting very old. So, I'm a little burnt out on the DC Multiverse line because I feel like I've gotten these figures before. I don't know if they're offering enough for me to continue going, but I like them as artistic representations of the characters. I don't know what's going to stick. I'll be honest with you. I think I'm closer to keeping the Mattel one and feeling like this one might go someday, or Mezco might become my standard. I'm not sure yet. I think what's going to matter is how good the villains actually look for this, because they're scaled differently. So this guy would look horrible next to Shriek and Blight. So I think this one might hold the edge just for that reason. So there you go. Batman Beyond, McFarlane. I know it wasn't that bright, glowing of a review, but I think that's all the things. I think that's part of this, right? It's not just me sitting here and saying, this is articulated, and this is this, and this is painted, and check out this. It's more about the psychology of the collecting too, of like, I need it, I got it. I don't know if I like it. Maybe I need something better. So the figure itself is solid. No breaks, no problems. Articulation is great. I still want thigh cuts on McFarlane so you get better posing out of him. But he is posable at the midsection, so you can get some good flight poses out of him. But I think it's also kind of like the mental aspect of like, I don't know, 20 years of waiting for a perfect Batman Beyond figure. I don't know if we've gotten it yet. So hopefully at some point somebody will get us one. So there you go. You can check out a full gallery of this guy, castorscorner.com. You can also check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We are at Kastor's Corner. And you can also check out our podcast on Apple Podcasts this week with our friend MJ from Total Toy Recon. And you can check out last week's episode with Vincent from Vasco Toys, talking all things diorama, and I'm dying to get him back and pick his brain about other things. So go check him out, support the business, support MJ, give him a follow, and give us a follow. And then while you're at it, give us a subscribe right here. The more of you that subscribe, the more cool things we get to do, and we get to share them with you. And we really enjoy that part of this journey. I think that is the piece that's more important than the articulation and paint apps on a toy. It's the psychology, the mindset, and the purpose that we collect these things and why we do it. So like, tracking down a 35-year-old toy because it had such a great memory of playing outside in my backyard with my mom, or the pictures, that my girlfriend put up to remind me of the, some of the good times in the last year, and some of the pictures I took. So I think, and Brian getting me the base to kind of put the toys on while they're waiting to be reviewed or after they're reviewed. So, all of these things kind of add up to why we do what we do. So now I'm just rambling, so I will let you go. Go to castorscorner.com to check out a full gallery of this guy and see the archive of the stuff we do, and join us tomorrow night for another Toy of the Day. Have a good night, everybody.